Hi folks, the Sabres have a signing to report coming up. Won't be a long one, guys. Be a quick one, 4 or 5 minutes. We'll talk a bit about it, and I want to jump back on to the free agency and take a look at this. The Sabres have signed Victor Olofsson, 2 years, $4.75 million a year. If that sounds familiar, that's because he's making exactly what Alex Tuch makes right now, and both of them are 26. It's a good contract. Of course, he'd be unrestricted in a few years. It's not official yet, but it's a done thing, guys. I mean, I'm taking a look just to be safe here. I'll check the Sabres site again. They haven't reported it yet. No, nothing yet, but it's pretty much, it's a done deal, guys. So Victor Olofsson is locked in. Oh, there it is. Yep, it just went up. Okay, my bad. I will put the clip up for you. And there you see it. Olofsson returns to Sabres on a 2-year contract. Forward tallied career high 49 points last season. Buffalo Sabres assigned Victor Olofsson to a 2-year contract with an average annual value of $4.75 million. The team announced Wednesday. Olofsson, 26, reached career highs in assists and points and matched his previous career high with 20 goals last season, despite an injury that forced him to miss 10 games in November and hampered his shooting ability upon his return. So that's it for that little clip, guys. We'll talk a little bit about it because I think this is going to make everybody just a little calmer today if we do nothing, right? This is big news for Sabres fans. Yeah, a lot of fans out there will say, so what? But for us, this is huge because, you know, we want to lock in our players. And let me check something while I got you guys here. I'll try and cut this video under 5 minutes, guys. It's not going to be a long one at all. I want to get this up. I want to get back out there to the free agency and watch. Here we go. Cap friendly. I just want to check something. Okay, so that locks in 19 out of 23. Our projected cap space right now is slightly under 25 million, just so you know. We have to hit 61. We're at 57.5 as we speak. This is not counting JJ Peterka yet, which will be another million basically about. And so you can count that really as 20 on the roster. And you got about 24 in space. Okay, so we got about 24 in space. We're really about, we're 58, we're about 50, say we're at 58, we're at 57.5. So we're 3.5 away from the cap floor. And I wanted to throw something at you guys because it was just something that kind of dawned on me. The contract of JVR, okay? Now JVR, this is something to think about, guys, okay? Just something to think about because Philadelphia want to get Johnny Gaudreau, right? They want to get Johnny Gaudreau on the team. We could take advantage of that with our cap space. Not getting Gaudreau, that's not what I'm saying. Philadelphia, right now, okay, have $3.4 million in cap space. They got only 18 guys locked, and they want to get Gaudreau. Everybody knows that Gaudreau is going to go to Philly. It's the worst kept secret. It feels like it anyway. They got to get rid of JVR, Van Riemsdyk. They got to get rid of JVR. He's 33, has 1 year left at $7 million, okay? 33 left at $7 million. Let me just check something here. We'll check his numbers last year, just to have an idea. Last year, guys, he got 24 goals, 14 assists for 38 points. Yes, he had 24 goals. His best year in like 4 years. We could take on that contract for 1 year, okay? 1 year, if they toss in a first rounder with it. What do you think of that? This is just something that I heard discussed, and I said, you know what, that would make perfect sense for us. We could take on this contract because we got the cap space. We can do it for a year, and we'd have another first rounder for next year in the Bedard sweepstakes. The odds are Philadelphia could still miss the playoffs, even with Gaudreau. They could. There's some work to be done in Philly, guys. So what do you think? Would you guys do it? Take on the JVR contract just for 1 year. $7 million bucks, we take on the whole thing. We don't ask them to retain any salary. That would be genius if somehow Adams could swing it. I don't think he can. Not if they're going to give up a first with it, but they're going to be desperate today. This is the time to jump on Philadelphia with our money, guys. This is the time. You know, how many times you hear me harping on the fact that the cap space is power. Right now, These hours that we're in, guys, this is where we can make the most of it. There's a chance is what I'm saying. There's a chance we could do this. We could actually call Philadelphia and say, hey, listen, you know, you guys want to move JVR? He'd probably waive it, right? Let's see if he might have a no movement. I didn't check that. You know, if that could be a problem. But for 1 year, I don't think JVR would care. For 1 year. No, there's no trade and no movement clause in his contract. This is good news for us, guys. That means they could trade him to Buffalo outright. There's nothing that he can say or complain or whine or any of that stuff. You know, and then the Sabres could just take on JVR for like a year. He's 6'3", 217 pounds, scored 24 goals last year. We could just throw him into the mix this year just for a year. Just for a year, guys. I'm not thinking getting this guy long term, don't get me wrong. But if we could get a first rounder out of this, okay, is the key. Could we get a first rounder out of this? Because that is what it comes down to. You know, if they can toss in their first rounder, would you guys do it? I would, right off the cuff. I wouldn't care. I could care less about the $7 million cap space gone because it's going to be right back there next summer, except this time around, we got another first rounder for next draft, which would be amazing if we could swing this. Just a thought, you know? And also, if we can get this done today, other teams might come knocking on the door for the same question. Teams are going to be desperate, guys, because this is the day of the year. They're trying to look at their money. They're trying to squeeze it, cut it out. They're trying everything they can to get that player they want, right? So we're the ones that hold the card here. We're the ones. We hold the cards, guys. We do. We hold the cards on all these teams today. Don't forget that. That's one thing they're going to say. Which team would be willing to take a contract off our hands? Buffalo. Right away is going to come to mind for all these teams, not just some of them, all of them. Ottawa's off the table. Detroit's off the table when it comes to that. New Jersey's off the table. They're all shopping today. They're all shopping way bigger than Buffalo, right? They want to get Giroux in Ottawa, and there's all sorts of things going on. But Buffalo's the team that might just take on a contract for us if we want to clear this out and get this guy in here. You know, we want to get Gaudreau. They're going to do everything they can. They'll give up a first. I think they would today because Philadelphia is going to get desperate, guys. I'm telling you, they're going to get desperate. They're going to pick up that phone, call Kevin Adams and say, you know, what would it take for you to take on JVR's contract from us? He just has to say first rounder, not negotiable. You send us next year's first, it's a done deal right now. I don't even think he'd have to call Pegula about this. I think Pegula would just say, do it. Do it. Because we take him on for a year. It's a big added forward, which wouldn't hurt us for this year. Wouldn't hurt us, guys. Wouldn't hurt the team at all. We might even like playing here and take a cheap contract, much cheaper contract next year to stay. You just don't know how these things can work, too. You know? Just a thought, guys. Just a thought. Okay, look, I'm going on and on, but this is really on my mind, so I'm going to see if the Sabres swing something like this. I'm going to be watching. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to get back out there. I want to watch all this. I'll see you guys later.